Hey everybody, welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. I'm Matt Connerton, and to my right, very fascinated with, what was that, a paperclip you got there?
So it looks like somebody mangled the paperclip.
It's probably me, I do that. I present to you, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the Honorable Gary S. Hopper.
Matt!
You like that? I threw in a little, some superlatives there?
He
Right.
is kind of sweet, I have to admit that.
Yeah.
I don't think I like the tone of that.
Yeah, that sounded a little,
I'm not going to go there. I
You
wouldn't.
see him with
You
his
can-
grandchildren, he's even sweeter.
My mic's... Whose mic's turned around? Oh, Al's turned around,
Oh.
yeah.
That's
There we
want
go.
to hear me
Crickets.
anyways.
What the heck is going on? Oh, what was I was on my motorcycle today. I don't want a pickle. Anyway, so I was on my motorcycle today, and I was listening to Allman Brothers.
I like the Allman Brothers.
And I'm just wondering, is that probable cause for a search?
It's possible. Depends on what song you were listening to. You listen to Eat a Peach, or were you?
No,
You know,
which one
it's the
was
only
it?
one I can really remember.
Which
the
one?
Allman Brothers.
No, what was the other one? Crossroads, I think Crossroads or something like that.
I don't know, I haven't listened to the Allman Brothers in a long time.
Yeah.
Midnight
Just-
Rider, is that the Allman Brothers?
That's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you're listening to Allman Brothers, should they be able to search your vehicle for marijuana? The other one was Pink Floyd. If you listen to Pink Floyd, can they search your vehicle for lysergic something dimethyl?
I think that might be in. I think that might be in the U.S. Constitution under Article 4. I think search and
About the
seizure.
Allman
if
Brothers?
I remember right.
I don't think the
it's
Allman
in
Brothers
there,
were
that they
around
can
there.
search you there. I think for some reason.
Well, there was an
At least-
amendment. It was
At least that's
later.
what some people
Yeah.
think. Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah.
It's
That
in
they have
there,
the
yeah.
right to just search you no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see here. What's your take on?
You going to introduce me first? So
Oh, yeah,
people
sorry.
know who I am. Am I speaking out of line, or am I?
You have been on the show quite a bit.
have been on it
They
a
probably
time.
already know.
I even co-hosted
That's
with
true.
you
Yes,
before.
yes.
Now.
Right.
You've been a
Where's the
guest host,
grenades?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, about that.
That's a shame. You know, I was in my office there. and
Anyway,
I-
wait a
in
second,
case you got
wait.
me
I
nervous,
guess-
I brought my own.
Nice.
Yeah, I brought
Sweet.
my own with me. You know,
Grenade?
being a Marine that I am. You
right.
Know, so
You got a
see,
squeaky.
It's so if the pressure gets, I get a little stressed.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's wicked cool. I like that. Thank you. You're
Yeah,
awesome.
So I'll leave that there while I'm here, just
Yeah.
in case I have to pull a grenade. I've done a few in my day. by the way.
Yes.
Certainly.
Anyway, Al Baldasaro is one of my favorite state reps. We've known each other for quite a few years. I really appreciate, we were talking about this before the show. I really appreciate just people who are straight shooters. Just that, if you have a question, you can ask them a question, and you know that they're answering the question to the best of their ability, or what they believe to be the facts. Not, there's some people you ask questions of, and you hear the answer, and you're going, okay, well,
Right.
did they really mean that, or did they mean this?
Well, there's a
or-
rule in politics, right? You never answer the question that was asked. You answer the question that you wish had been asked.
Yeah, well, that's what
Well,
you
see,
on
I'm not
TV.
that way. I'll answer
Yeah.
the questions asked because I'm not intimidated or scared to tell people where I stand right off the bat, and I don't wait for the wind to blow to stand on an issue.
Right.
Right.
I research, and fortunate being a member of the House Republican Alliance, we dissect every bill, and we have duty experts here that put in their 2 cents.
Yeah.
And then guys like Gary and myself, we reserve the right to make our own decisions.
Right,
Right.
What's best for the state of New Hampshire or our districts.
right.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
But we're talking, like he does a show with Ken Gidge,
Right.
and I've had people like Dave Fine, Pat Long, and they're liberal, very liberal friends of mine.
Yep, Pat's a great guy. I love
Yeah.
Pat.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
and I like them because I know that if I ask them a question, they're going to tell me what they
Right.
think about something. They're
Right.
not going to.
Right.
I don't. They're not going to be full of crap.
Pat and I can disagree on issues, but we can shake hands after.
Of course.
Right.
You know what I mean? And,
yeah.
and hang out or whatever, I mean,
Yeah.
I really respect somebody like Pat because he'll look you in the eye and tell you no.
Right.
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 So, I'm the same way. I tell it like it is. I mean, I even tell my constituents, I'm not a politician because if I was a politician, I'd have to kiss your butt and tell you what you want to hear. And if you don't like where I stand, don't vote for me. I'll go
Right.
fishing.
Right.
Simple. And I'm there 5 terms.
See, I try to look Gary in the eye when we disagree, but it's hard because we're side by side.
Right.
Yeah,
it's
and
awkward.
there's also one of my eyes is messed up, so
Right,
it's
so he
kinda-
can't
There
see
is
it.
that, yes.
Right,
Yes.
but I always told Gary I had his back, so I have to cover for him. Gary, I got the grenade, Gary.
It's ready.
Yeah. So yeah, Gary and I, we go a long way up. You've been up there how many terms? 5, 6?
I always have a hard time remembering, which I guess I was elected first in 2000, but I missed 3 years.
Okay.
So that's 12 years. So 6 terms, I guess.
Yeah, I'm on my 9th year, going on my 10th.
Yep.
I can't complain. It's been good because it's very rewarding. It's not so much about being a state representative. What is rewarding, like we were talking about outside here, is when somebody calls you and they have an issue, and the
Right.
government has failed them. You know what I mean? And they need a hand up. They got laid off. They had something happen. You know what I mean? And some people turn their backs on, or the government don't want to help them unless
Yeah.
you're a drug addict or an alcoholic. Or you like the gentleman that told me before to your director, unless you quit your job. That's not right. That's not right. We
Oh,
should
it's
be
horrible.
We should be working
It's-
on a
it's-
hand up versus the handout stuff there and keeping people.
I worked with a guy. Same thing. He was he had just lost his job. His wife had been laid off before that, and he went to the city of Manchester and says, "Look, we're just having a tough time. We've been paying our taxes. We live in town, and we're just having a rough time. Can you help us through this?" He says, if you guys got a divorce, we could help you.
That's crazy.
I have friends who were told that same thing. A couple.
That
who were
is
told
like
same
that
thing.
is
Yep.
so insane to
it is.
encourage
Yeah, it is.
people to do what is detrimental to society.
I'm a family man. I believe in family values, and I've been divorced. I was a single father for a few years.
Yeah.
Before I just got married. Matter of fact, again, almost 2 years.
Yeah,
I
but that was
married an
a
angel.
shotgun wedding. As
Yeah,
we
there was a
both know.
shotgun. That's right. Yeah, no kids involved, but again, it was a
No,
shotgun.
but it was a shotgun
And if
wedding.
you do a Google search on my name, you'll see the picture that
Yes,
comes up
yes.
with my wife and my daughters, her daughters, and her maid of honor, all carrying shotguns and AR-15.
Yeah.
And it was a joke with Representative John Burt,
Yeah.
saying, Al's gonna, not gonna show up to the wedding. And I said, well, I'll just hide my boat, or I built a bridge at the end of my property. I can go over the little culvert there
Yeah.
and go onto the street. So I said, I'll just sneak out the back way.
Yeah.
I never thought John would show up with all these rifles.
Oh yeah, it was
And
wicked
then my
funny.
wife, it was
Yeah.
my wife's idea, but they attacked my wife and my children. It went national.
Oh yeah,
You
I
know,
remember that. Yeah.
I
it
mean,
was
I was-
ridiculous.
Attack me. Bring it on to me. Let's roll. Come to
Right.
my house, talk to me to my face.
Right.
But to attack my children and my
I know
wife,
it was so insane because
You
it
know?
was just a joke.
That's right.
And it was
I
a pretty
confronted-
funny joke,
and
too.
I confronted the guy from Manchester that put that
Was
took
it
it.
Peter?
Peter Sullivan.
Peter Sullivan,
I get in his
yeah.
face up at the State House. He's spineless. He's big on the computer.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
right
A lot of
outside
people-
my
Right,
committee.
yes.
A lot of people are
I
like
got in
that,
his
yeah.
face because when you mess with me, I can handle. I'm tough.
Right,
You know.
right.
But when you mess with my children, be prepared for a butt kicking.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm a state rep or not. I'm a father.
Right.
Right,
You know,
right.
and it's
Yeah.
my right to protect my children.
Yeah.
And
And it's easy for someone to be brave when they're sitting behind a
Oh, yeah.
keyboard, and,
And that's
there's
how
no
he is.
accountability.
So I'm glad he's not a rep no more because
Yeah.
he's a disgrace. He has a lot of potential too, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But his mouth going personally after people is a no-no. I'm a straight shooter. You all know how I am.
Yeah.
But I go after issues, policies.
Right.
I don't go after the individual and call him names.
Yeah. Did you ever confront him? on
Oh,
it?
you bet
Oh,
I
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Up at the
actually
State House.
Yeah, it was right outside
Yeah.
my committee, and I was with my. I remember distinctly. I was with my grandson.
He walked away.
I walked
Really?
away
Yeah.
because I did not know what was going on until
Yeah.
like about an hour later. I says, "Oh, I figured it out afterwards."
Yeah.
Well, I'm an old retired Marine. Last thing I want to do is roll around the ground
Sure,
anymore.
sure.
I'm getting old.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
You can break something.
But let me tell you, when it comes to my family, be prepared.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So I'm coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Right, right.
Or when it comes to my friends or family, this or that.
Did he ever apologize? Or?
No, never did. He's a spineless.
Yeah.
He walked away.
Wow.
And then Representative Peterson in the committee got him going there in the committee, and he was whining to the chairman that she was picking on him.
Which one was
Really?
that?
Remember Lynette Peterson?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love Lynette.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Lynette was another one. She didn't run because her daughters, she wanted to go back and make money because her daughters are going on to college.
Okay.
Lynette was another one from Merrimack.
Right.
Tell it like it is.
Yeah.
Hold no punches, look you in the eye. This is where I stand.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Does a wonderful, she did. I hated to see her go.
Yeah.
You know, but she stood up to him, and he whined to the
kidding.
chairman. He's being picked on.
Really?
Yeah, over the pitch. It's a shame.
Wow.
Like anything else, life goes on.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know?
Yeah.
But sometimes people open their mouths to the wrong people there, and if you're gonna, stand up back up what you say.
Right, exactly,
You know?
exactly.
Oh yeah. It's all coming back to me. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, our session's almost over, Gary.
Almost over. What's going
Yeah.
on next week? Is our last.
We've got about 61 bills, and then we're going to be probably voting on the budget. I haven't seen the
The
final.
governor. I was reading online. The governor has constitutional carry on her desk right now.
That'd be,
Is that correct?
Yes, from
okay.
what I'm hearing. Now, of course, we're hearing that she's going to veto it. If she vetoes it and wants to run for governor, I mean, if you look at the polls on constitutional carry, people want it. If you look at Vermont, since Vermont's existence, they've had constitutional carry.
Yeah.
New Hampshire had constitutional carry up until 63, something around there.
I didn't realize that.
And then somebody changed the law because, used to have it here in New Hampshire.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Do you know you can carry open carry right now? It's legal. I could take my jacket off right now, walk down the street if I had a gun on me, because it's classified. I never let people know.
Right.
But anyways, if I walk down the street and open carry, that's legal.
Yeah.
If I didn't have a gun permit and it was cold out and I put my jacket on, or even a female, okay?
Yeah.
Female limited where they can carry a gun open carry, and especially if they're involved in domestic violence. Once they put the sweater on or the jacket, now you're breaking the law. You're
Right.
a criminal. It's concealed.
Yeah.
This is why constitutional carry needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
The Women's League, I just did a press conference with them. They were all uptight over this here because they believe with the amount of domestic violence that's going on, women being beat, raped, and other stuff going on throughout the country, they don't want to wait 14 days and ask a chief, may I exercise my constitutional right?
Exactly.
Chief of police.
You shouldn't have to ask
That's
permission.
a bunch of BS.
Right. Yeah.
I shouldn't have to go ask the chief. I'm served my country
Right.
22 years.
Right.
I can ask for permission. Can I carry concealed?
It'd be like asking permission to have free speech.
That's right. Yeah, that's
We've
crazy.
been kind of speculating on the show about if she does veto it, one reason might be, and I think she will personally.
I think she will,
veto,
too.
because if she does want to run for senator, if she's going to be depending on outside money coming in to fuel her campaign,
She's going to be limited. The independents, so many independents and a lot of Democrats support constitutional carry.
within the
But
state,
there's
sure,
more independents and Republicans, of course.
Yeah.
That support that within the state.
Yeah.
So, and she needs independent votes to win if she's going to
That's
run.
true. That's true. Yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm not convinced you're right. I mean,
Carrie, I never said I was right.
you didn't?
I just said my opinion. I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong once or twice.
Really?
Yeah.
Why
Well, I
do
don't
we
think
why
I
did
am
we
on
have
this
him
one.
on the show then?
I know, right? Well, he didn't say all the time. To be fair, he
Yeah.
just
Okay.
said he just said once or twice
Right.
he's been wrong.
And something, an old
No.
Flintstone's never wrong. It's a temporary setback. We don't make mistakes.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It's a temporary setback waiting for a solution.
Yeah, I remember,
Yeah.
it was like when my dad was in the Marines, surrounded by 10,000 Marines, surrounded by
In
100,000 North Koreans and Chinese.
The frozen chosen.
Yeah,
Chesty Puller, right?
yeah. We got them right where we want them.
That's
We can
right.
attack in any direction.
You ain't kidding. Yep.
Yeah, so statistically, we're in
Yeah.
good shape with Al. Actually,
Yes,
then.
yeah.
Without a doubt. So, and I do my homework on different issues, and I observe and I read a lot, and I'm involved in quite a bit. I have my hands in a lot of stuff up at the State House.
Yeah.
And I'm like one of the renegade representatives that refused by right, I probably should have been the chairman of the Veterans Affairs Committee.
Yeah.
I'm probably the most knowledgeable on the veterans' laws and issues in the state of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
But I could not serve somebody I have no respect for,
Right.
and I have no respect for our speaker. So I cannot sit in a room in a leadership meeting and sing Kumbaya and hold hands
Right.
like we're
Right.
buddies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's a butthead,
Right.
and I can say that.
a butthead. I don't know
Yeah.
if you can. We're gonna have to
There's-
check with the FCC.
I don't know.
I don't know if
There's
you can
other
say
words
butthead.
I would normally use, but I mean, I work with him on legislation, but I
Yeah.
got no respect for him.
Yeah.
So I would be a hypocrite if I accepted a leadership position and did not support him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just because, look at me, I'm a chairman.
Right.
Right.
I don't need a chairman to do what I do. I don't know if you know, Gary, I was in New York about 3 weeks, almost a month ago,
No.
on the Defending Freedom rally with the Concerned Veterans America. I was at Fox News. I was there. 2 weeks ago, before I went to Florida with my daughter, I was in Washington, D.C., what they call Bets on the Hill. And we met with the chairman of the Veterans Affairs Committee. I met with the Senator Senator Sheen, Custer, and Ginter, all very receptive on a bill that we're pushing on Accountability Act. because you heard how they passed the bill, the feel-good bill. They're going to fire all these people
sure. Yeah.
that are involved with the veterans, dying, wait
Right,
lists
right.
and everything.
Right.
0 has been fired. So what we did, 300 veterans throughout the country have got together in New York, and we called it the Vets on the Hill, put on by the Concerned Veterans of America. And we had over 150 meetings with different senators and congressmen. And I was fortunate because I was the only state rep, and all the senators and congressmen wanted to come out, and they sat in the meetings,
Yeah.
with me,
Yeah.
where others just met with their staffers.
Oh, okay.
And it was a great meeting, and we're pushing also on this choice card here in New Hampshire.
Right.
Our veterans here in New Hampshire does not have a full-service hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then plus, if they're from, and a lot of the discussion was if they're from up near Berlin and stuff like that,
Yeah.
where the heck do they go?
That's right.
Where are you going to ship them to Boston?
Well, no, White River Junction you have up there. And we
No,
have,
but I mean, if they get the card, they can go
right,
anywhere.
if they get the card, but you got to call a third-party health net, and you never get the same person. Then they got to try to find you a doctor that's signed up into the system, and this is a simple fix.
A lot of bureaucracy.
Because we're looking at. I'm a retired Marine. I have insurance.
Yeah.
But I prefer the VA because I am sick from Desert Storm.
Okay.
I broke my pelvis in 3 places. I've had my gallbladder out. I've had a heart attack. Got a stent put in. I mean, I have many medical issues.
But
I have
other than that,
spine-
you're in great
But
shape.
other than that, I'm in great shape. I just,
Glass half full.
yeah. But I have spinal issues. I stand a lot.
Yeah,
But anyways, I went to the VA just about a month ago, before I went to to Washington D.C. 3 weeks ago, I should say, and I went to the urgent care center because I had an infection in my ear.
Yeah.
I went from my ear down here. My wife was pushing me, and my mentality is it's pain, is weakness leaving the body.
Right.
So I wait the last minute before I would
okay.
even go. So my wife said, you better go get checked because now it's down in my neck and my shoulder all the way up.
Yeah.
So I went to the urgent care center at the VA because that's where all my records are.
Yeah.
There was about 5, 6 veterans sitting around there. I said, how long is it going to be? They said, it could be 4, could be 6 hour wait.
What?
Wow.
I said, listen to it. Some of these veterans here are more priority than I am. Take care of them. I left there. I went to the Elliott Urgent Care Center in Manchester.
Yeah.
I was there, a 15-minute wait, maybe. It's 16 minutes around there. I was in the back. Within 20, 25 minutes, I was out the door with antibiotics for my ear.
Wow.
What's wrong with that picture?
Right.
Why
Exactly.
is that not happening in our Veterans Urgent Care Center?
Absolutely.
So these are the fights that we're in.
Even Bernie Sanders said that, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
he says,
he's been
I think
speaking
he's
up about
totally
that.
against war
Right.
as a rule, but if we're going to send them, take
you
care
know,
of them.
Take care of him. Yeah.
I agree with Bernie Sanders, but I look at somebody like Bernie Sanders, somebody like these other senators been up there for years. What are you doing about it? You've been
Right.
up there for years.
Yeah.
These issues been going on for years. You know what I mean? You can talk it. I want to see action. I'm tired of listening to the BS.
Right,
I want
right.
action. That's why I went to Washington.
Oh, yeah.
On this trip here because I want to hold people accountable.
I've been wondering for a long time, is some of the problem too that the VA needs to modernize? Because I've talked about, I've mentioned it on this show, Gary. You've heard me talk about it, how a few years ago there was this news story about the building, I don't remember the name of the building, where they keep the medical records in D.C.
Right.
for the veterans.
Well-
and it's just these piles and piles of papers and filing cabinets, and they had to reinforce the floor because the
Right.
building was going to cave in because everything's, they're still using all these paper files in this
Right, wherever they
incredible
store
era
our
where-
medical records, yes.
Yeah.
But once you get out like myself, I'm a disabled veteran. Okay, even though I retired active duty,
Yeah.
I mean, it took me a couple of years of being out of the hospital until an Air Force guy told me, and I'm making $80,000 a year. I had a great job traveling around the country, recruiting, acquisitions. We were buying up companies.
Yeah.
But I was sick, and I knew I was sick, but I kept pushing. I was there
yeah.
to feed my family.
Yeah.
But anyways, it finally got to a point where this Master Guns retired, and Air Force Master Sergeant, E9, I think it was, he was the former Sergeant Major for the base in Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. That's where I was working.
Okay.
He said, if you don't care about yourself, at least care about your family. He said, come see me. He's a service officer now when he retired. So I went and seen him, brought my medical records. Within 8 months to a year, I came back. I was 80% disabled veteran with all the medical issues I got.
No kidding.
I was shocked at it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's when I decided, I said, I was a first sergeant. You took care of the Marines. You never took care of yourself.
Right.
You ate after everyone else ate. Sometimes in the field or in Desert Storm, you didn't eat
Right.
because the hot child ran out and you went and got an MRE. So that was my mentality.
Sure.
Until he opened my eyes.
Yeah.
And it made a difference there. So now I do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's why I've been in the fight with veterans.
Yeah.
Because I would have never known about the benefits if it wasn't for the Air Force.
Well, and ultimately, too, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others.
Well, that's it. So I learned.
Yeah.
You know,
That it's not about others all the time. I have to get myself physically back in shape and everything.
Exactly.
you know what they do with a, I'm sure you know this. If you're in an airplane and you got two little kids with you,
Oh, yeah.
where does the oxygen mask go first?
Well, it goes to the kid. Well, no,
No.
you actually do it.
Right.
You actually put it on first, then the kid.
Yeah,
Right.
because
But see-
if you pass out, those kids are dead.
Well, it's the same thing with a gas mask. You know what I mean? When you're in any type of chemical situation, as a leader, you put your gas mask on first, then you start helping them.
Right.
Because
Right.
you're no good to anyone else if you're breathing, the chemicals and stuff
Right,
like
right.
that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Basically,
agree.
yeah.
Yeah. I had a brain fart for a second. I had to think. You're putting the pressure on me.
Sorry, man.
It's a high pressure
It is,
situation
it is.
coming on
It
here,
is.
and Gary's.
I go right for the jugular.
You're
you
no
know
Larry
that.
King. You're
Oh.
not. You're not throwing softballs.
Yeah,
that's
you're,
it, yeah.
You're
No,
more
Gary-
like a Barbara Walters type.
Yeah, Barbara Wawa.
Yeah.
Barbara.
Wawa.
Hey, I know Gary, like I said, known Gary a long time. I can always count on Gary, whether he supports something or don't. He'll tell you like it is. And that's I respect Gary for that.
Yeah.
Because some representatives up there won't tell you where they stand. They'll wait.
I like the ones
Yeah.
who
they'll
actually
wait.
probably tell you exactly the way they think, and then they change their mind right,
Right,
before
good.
the vote.
They have an
Vote
epiphany.
another.
Yeah.
That's right. And they let peer pressure get the best of them.
Peer
Yeah.
pressure or
Right.
leadership
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad.
I mean, when it comes like on veterans issues versus, Republican, Democrats, I was a veteran first. I was a Democrat for a long time before I was a veteran.
Yeah.
I was a veteran first long before I was a Republican.
Yeah.
So veterans issues are my number one priority.
Yeah.
But Republican issues, I support our platform, but not 100%.
Sure.
So I don't vote with leadership all the time, and I don't even vote with my House Republican
leadership-
alliance 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Leadership
legislation.
now is not all that Republican anyway.
No, they're more moderate.
They're wicked moderate.
And you know what's going on in the committees? First of all, we're fighting Republicans on the floor, and we're losing some battles because a small amount of leadership are voting with the Democrats, and they got enough votes to pass stuff.
Well,
Yep.
are those the Jasper supporters or
Jasper
or is-
supporters,
yeah.
yes. And they're taking positions of the committees, supporting the committee chair. Even in my committee, our committee chair on resolutions and things like that on some issues go the opposite of us conservatives because the leadership says, we don't want to mess with those resolutions. So then they vote with the Democrats.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
do you remember I went to the floor and took on our chairman on the Constitutional Convention, Article 5s?
Okay.
How I was, I fought them on that because our chair and clerk and they all voted with the Democrats and they overruled most of us Republicans.
Okay.
You know?
Huh.
So it's tough, you know what I mean? But we'll fight them on the floor for what's good for
But some of the other stuff that oh, by the way, Al's one of my go-to people.
Yeah.
Like on veteran stuff, if I get a question or we're going to vote on something, I know that if I go up and ask him about something that's coming up and he says you got to vote for it, Gary, I'm going to vote for it
Yeah.
because I trust his judgment and I know that he's already looked into it. And I know that he knows more about the subject than I do.
Right. Right.
But that's kind of how the House works. You
Right.
learn,
And
you
I've been
learn the
fortunate.
people that are
Yeah.
not full of crap and.
Yeah.
You, because you can't be like he listens to the testimony on an entire bill. All I get is a blurb to go
Right.
by in the House calendar, and you look at the blurb and say that doesn't sound right. So I go to Al and he says no, that's because they didn't explain it correctly
Right.
or whatever.
Or they held back on some of the information or they didn't want to accept the facts.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's like I remember the Honor Remember flag bill. You know,
Yeah.
when a veteran gets killed, in the battlefield, he comes home with an American flag on his casket. When I served under the American flag. I didn't serve under an Honor and Remember flag, a feel-good symbol. Okay?
Right.
There's a company out there who's a Gold Star father, his son died in the war, and he had feel-good. He came up with this flag
Yeah.
to present. Well, they wanted the state of New Hampshire to recognize it and be our symbol
Right.
for veterans getting killed in the battlefield. Well, we have one, and that's the American flag.
Right.
So I fought it 3 times. As a matter of fact, David Booton, him and I fought hand in hand on this bill.
Yeah.
He's the one that put it in. I was able to kill it on the floor by going to the well, and Republicans and Democrats all listened, and they voted with me.
Yeah.
And then there was a bill that I fixed a loophole in the law on National Guard people who were all losing their veterans property tax credit. So you got guys with 18, 20 years. Some of them never go to war, but they've served on active duty for so many days. Now, by the law, it said 90 days or more, you ought to, become a veteran in order to qualify. Now, the National Guard might have gone 89 days to boot camp. So I fixed the law, and I said, because when you're on a reserve weekend, it's called Title 32.
Okay.
When you're on active duty for the federal guard, like training, it's called Title 10. You're on active duty with the federal government. So what I did was I put a law in there, add the Title 10 active duty time to go with their 89 to 88 days of boot camp in school, to add on, so they would be qualified as a veteran.
Okay.
Well, he put this, it passed the House, passed the Senate, but he put an amendment on it with the Honor and Memory flag.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
Sneaking it
so
in.
now, I'm the chairman. We go up there, we go in committee of conference. They wouldn't budge. They wanted that passed. So we can't do it. So the bill died. It was about 4,000 veterans here in New Hampshire lost their property tax, which was $500 a year for them. But the following year, I came back and fixed it in the past.
That's good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where I sponsored the bill to get a standalone bill to fix it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a shame. It should never happen.
Right. Yeah.
But David Booton and I are friends now. We shook
good.
hands, and because I went to his district when he was running, and I supported his candidate, and I went to the VFW, the American Legion, and I told him what went on about the veteran stuff. And he was mad, but I said, hey, listen, I don't care. You're a Republican, I'm a Republican. I was a veterans first.
Right.
Long before. So, but like I said, when he was running, we met and shook hands. Some people brought us together. And,
oh, really? Yeah, that's good.
So I said, okay, because I was prepared to go and, write a letter.
Sure.
And I'm the chairman of the American Legion state of their legislative committee.
Yeah.
I've been for the last 2 years. I was the VFW for a couple of years for the state. So I'm not just somebody that just woke up.
Right, of course.
And say, I want to support
I
veterans
am.
issues.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, you're always
you look
there.
a little
with
drowsy. You look like you just had a nap.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which is scary because, you drove here.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
Did you ride your bike here?
No, I drove my motorcycle up to Freedom Cycle to have it. It had I had 1,000 miles on it since I got it about 2 weeks ago.
That's a beautiful color. Red, I think it was red.
Yeah, red.
Is it? Yeah.
Wicked candy, almost like candy
like
apple
my
red,
Dodge
almost.
pickup truck. I have candy apple red.
Yeah, it's a nice color.
Yeah, stands out.
I'm hoping it stands out. Maybe some kid won't run into the back of me this time.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
What are the odds, statistically?
Pretty good.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
No, I dropped it off for its 1,000 mile oil change, and
so you've already got 1,000 miles on it, huh?
Oh yeah.
Wow, you really getting
yeah.
out there. That's good.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool because there's a lady at church who's gone through a lot of medical stuff, and she loves riding. So I took her out for a ride Saturday. Wicked nice day.
Awesome. I tell you, I thought for many years I always wanted to ride a bike. My brother was a big Harley driver, rode with clubs for many years and everything. But, after surviving, the many years in the military and Desert Storm, I think it would be a motorcycle to take me out.
Right.
'Cause I'd be doing something crazy and, I got too much adrenaline there to,
Nah, I don't know.
So I don't know. I just never got around to it.
I'm afraid of them.
Yeah, I just never bothered.
Yeah.
I'm accident prone. I mean, I go up on the
Well,
ladders of my house, I fall. I cut trees, I fall.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, so
I waited till my.
I have no luck in that stuff.
I waited till my son was like just about 18, because for the same reason. I know that when you're on two wheels, it's not as warm and fuzzy as being on four. Right. And I took the motorcycle training course. Anybody out there, I would strongly recommend taking that course. That was awesome. It's wicked cheap.
Is that the state run with Bob
It's
Letourneau?
I don't know if it's state sanctioned. I think it's probably a better, because people that do it don't get paid hardly anything. Mainly it's people who really love doing it. Mm-hmm. And you go up, like I went to Concord, and they had half a dozen or so or more little tiny motorcycles, like 125s and 250s. and you drive those around the parking lot, and you take a test, and once you're done the weekend, they give you, if you pass, you get a certificate. Then you go to the registry, and they give you your motorcycle
Oh,
license.
so you don't have to take another test?
They're
or
all
anything?
done. It's
Oh,
all
wow.
good. You have to
That's
take the
awesome.
written test during that weekend,
Yeah.
and then they give you like a final test on the motorcycle where you have to do like this obstacle course, and as long as you don't dump it, you get the. I mean, you lose so many points for putting your feet down and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's actually quite fun.
Huh.
It's a fun thing to do just for doing.
Now, when did you do that? Because you've had a motorcycle for years, right?
Right. Yeah, that was.
Were you there when they had like horse and buggy? You were doing it.
The first one was actually the wheels were run by squirrels.
Right. That's what I was
Wow.
wondering.
Right,
Yeah, because
yeah.
you've been
Wasn't
riding a
very
long time.
fast, but it's a lot of squirrels. You had to get like 40 squirrels.
That is a lot of squirrels.
Yeah.
I mean, did
and
you
if they
redo the
stopped to play
course,
with
or-
their nuts, you were kind of what?
Have you redone the course again over the years?
No,
Or?
no. I know. I know. It was when Sean was 18, so now I got to figure out that. Let's see. He was born in '88, so '06.
Wow,
Around
okay.
'05, '06, I got my
Right.
went through that, and got my first motorcycle.
Awesome.
Then I got that was a 650. Well, I started out small because I didn't want something that's going to run away from me. Then I
Right.
got the 1300, and that got crunched last summer. So I just got another. I got another one of the same thing. You know why? I'm an old machinist. And the one thing you learn in machining is if you find a tool that works, you always get the same tool because
Right.
you know it's going to work. And the Yamaha 1300 I had before worked flawlessly for 40,000 miles. It never didn't start except when I left the keys on or something. So I got another one.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, now it's Candy Apple Red. Hopefully I won't get run into this time.
Yeah, that's good. You all set for next week for the budget?
I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be a long, hot. I hope it's not as hot as it is today.
I know.
It gets brutal in there.
Do they let you have water bottles?
Oh, yeah.
or-
Yeah, they let you have
Yeah, you
water
got
bottles.
and stuff.
Because I know that they don't let you have coffee.
One of the coolest things, though, and I thought this was just awesome. It's kind of funny, is during the day on the hot days, a woman has to get up into the front of and make a motion to let the men take their jackets off.
Yeah.
To let the gentlemen take their coats.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. Hmm.
And it's
And of course-
actually, I think it's pretty cool.
But there's a lot of us that don't take our coats off
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those.
Yeah,
I
right.
freaking
for reasons,
Yeah.
personal reasons.
They should have like a slip and slide or something. Remember those? That'd be fun
Oh, yeah.
for the hot days.
Out in the back, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I would
I could see
encourage
us
that.
all in suits and just doing it.
well, now what day did we get John Burt's hot dog day? Is
June
that
3rd.
next
Yeah,
Wednesday?
Next Wednesday, right. That's a big day.
Yeah.
And, John, another great guy, representative, tell like it is guy.
Yeah.
But he's his hot dog day, and the money he collects from that gets donated to what is a dog
Animal
rescue,
shelter or something like that.
Yeah, he does a great. This is his third year he's done it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and a lot of us will go in and make donations in there, and he's got like a big old thing.
Yeah.
Collects money for them.
He's another case where he is pretty far to the right, but he was very friendly with everybody and
yeah. Right.
Yeah. John's a nice. We haven't had him on the show in a while.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah,
I had him. I think I had him
John
on
actually
Christmas.
steps in for me when I don't do my show with.
Oh, okay.
Ken
Oh, really?
Gibbs,
With
yeah.
Ken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. It used to be Bill O'Brien and Ken Gibbs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then
That must have been
then
wicked
Bill,
interesting.
When he started going to, took a job then, so
Yeah.
it was kind of rough for him to do it. So I stepped in.
Oh.
So I was like a special co-host guest, to come in and do the TV show
And that's in Nashua.
in Nashua.
Yeah.
We do it every Friday.
What's it called?
It's called The Art of Politics.
Out of
And
politics.
then my show, which I haven't done since December, I've got to get it back up and running. It's called Who's Looking Out for You?
Okay.
That I do in Londonderry.
Yeah.
Right.
And I haven't, like I said, I haven't done one since December. I've just been so busy, and
Yeah.
I've been to this year I took advantage. I've been to Florida 3 times, and
Wow.
so
You're getting so dark.
Yeah,
You're
that's
getting
it.
so dark. Do you qualify for affirmative action and stuff
I
like
think so.
that? I mean,
I probably do, and
Yeah.
I'll take advantage of it. I'm going to put my hand out and say, why not me? But see, but where I'm not an alcoholic or a drug addict, they'll probably tell me no.
No, yeah.
You know, where I'm retired, I probably make too much money, and they'll tell me no.
No, yeah.
You know, so much
and
for
you're
that
married
idea.
too, so
Right.
that's
Right.
another
That's a definite
strike
no.
against you.
That's right. They want me to get divorced, so
Yeah,
know,
all
the
you have to
government.
do is just get divorced and do drugs,
Right.
and you'll be fine.
and then I can live like a king.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'll probably go to Connecticut and spend some money at the casino.
Right. You probably get discount.
Oh yeah,
Sounds
without
like quite a
doubt.
weekend.
Yeah,
does.
you ain't
It's
kidding. Did he tell you before that we had a bill there to where these TANFs cards cannot be used at the casino or to buy alcohol or to buy cigarettes?
See, I already thought you couldn't
you?
buy alcohol
No.
with those.
Nope, and
No?
the Democrats killed the bill.
Really?
They didn't vote it or support it with us.
Well, the thing is, the TANF cards, there's two different types.
Right.
There's one that's
One for
just
cash.
one's for food, but the other one, there's one that they can get that's like
Cash.
is
Really?
but it's cash, but it's money that the state has extracted from the let's say the biological father of a woman's kid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like they paid you alimony.
Right, but it's not even
child
paid.
support.
It's not even paid enough. You know, it's totally different.
But
Because,
that's a separate card that they
Yeah.
can use for anything.
right. But I mean, a parent, a father going to paying child support to the court system, that has nothing to do with what you get for TANF money, because that money they'll keep that money, but what they get for the on the EBT cards
Yeah.
doesn't even cover what they collect.
Right.
So that's people's taxpayers' money. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against that.
Right. If
You know
people
what I
need
mean?
help, yeah.
I just think there should be a hand up, and
Right.
it should not be used for alcohol, cigarettes. It's provided for your children.
Yeah.
Food on the table.
I tell you, you know
Help
how you
people.
could fix this
Yeah,
wicked
no.
easy?
Yeah.
All you need to do to fix this is put a big sign out in front of Riley's that says we accept EBT cards.
So, yeah.
It'll be fixed really quickly.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. But I mean, it's just something that we have to fix. I mean, I'm all for taking urine tests, to go on there.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
Why?
Because in every state that's been tried, it's been a failure. They end
Why?
up, because it's expensive, drug testing, they end up...
About
they
10,
end up-
$12 a test.
But they end up wasting more money than...
Right.
I mean, Florida was a disaster. They ended up
Mm-hmm.
wasting so much more money than they could ever save.
But the thing is, are they actually wasting money or are they saving money? Because now you're actually, people are not coming in that have the drug issues now. They're not coming in to take the test.
But
You
if
see?
from what I've seen in every state it's been tried, it's a
Mm-hmm.
net loss.
And Massachusetts still has it. Florida
Is it-
has it.
Yeah, it's not the
Well, the
easiest
thing is, you got to be careful about who's saying it's a net loss. I'll tell you why. Yes, it's probably expensive, probably too expensive, because the state's doing it.
Right.
But do they include in their statistics what Al's saying are the people who just drop out of the system because they
They don't want to do that.
don't want to?
Now, I want you to get another thing. New Hampshire passed medical marijuana. All the New England states have it.
Yeah.
Now, if a veteran who's doing pain management at the VA, and all of a sudden he goes out in town to a civilian doctor and gets medical marijuana, now he goes back to the VA and he takes a urine test through his pain medication management that he's involved in.
Right.
He could lose some of those privileges
Yeah, that's terrible.
because federal government, it's against the law.
Right. Right.
Now, I just talked with Kelly Ayotte and Shaheen,
Yeah.
and they said they're supposed to be sending me some language there to try to fix this,
Yeah.
because otherwise we're going to have a lot of veterans
Yeah.
there that don't understand the law.
It needs to be.
They're-
And
yeah,
they're
they're
going to
gonna-
get medical marijuana and then show up to the VA because they're 100%, and all of a sudden they're knocked off their other medication they get.
Right.
Right, or if they live in Colorado and they just do it
That's
recreationally.
right, yes.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? And most veterans don't know that. And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
need to know that. They need to be careful because of the federal laws. And if you're getting federal benefits,
Wasn't there a vet right here in Manchester who got arrested because?
Yeah.
Because
he moved from Washington State.
right, and he was
Yeah.
using marijuana
That's
medically,
right.
and the cops
Had
thought
the prescription,
they.
had
Yep.
everything, and
Next thing you know, he's in jail.
that's right.
Criminal.
Yeah,
Just criminal that
it's
we
a
do that to
disgrace. He
veterans
retired
or to
Navy,
anybody really.
retired Navy guy, disabled,
Yeah.
100% disabled veteran.
But, yeah.
You would have think somebody would have said, something. you got everything you need.
Right.
You got your medical prescription. You got to,
And don't get caught with us
Yeah.
out in public.
yeah,
Right. Yeah.
right, in his own home.
In his own
In
home?
his own home.
Yeah. They arrested him.
What happened is they
It's
were
awful.
going for a domestic violence in a building. I
Right.
don't know if it was Manchester or another.
I thought it was, but
I'm
maybe
not sure.
not.
It might
Maybe
have been
not.
another city, Somersworth, somewhere.
Yeah.
But anyways, they're in an apartment building, and they going for one thing, but they smell marijuana. So they go
Really?
knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Now the guy refused to let them in. I mean, but he said, "Well, we can just go get a warrant."
Were they playing Allman Brothers?
So they came in. So when they said, "Well, just yeah, probably," so they said, "Well, let's just go. We can get a warrant if you don't let us in." So they had older couple, the Navy veteran, let them come in, and they
Bad
found
move.
like a very small, under a quarter an ounce of marijuana.
Yeah.
Okay, he showed them their prescriptions. He showed them his medical card, everything, and they handcuffed him, take him out of his house.
Just awful.
Yeah, it's a
It's
disgrace.
awful on every level.
Yeah. It is horrific.
Now, I talked to some veterans there, and there's studies also going on around the country with people with PTSD. Because you heard there's like about 22 veterans a day committing suicide.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But supposedly, this medical marijuana is making a big difference. Because, in my own opinion, my experience in dealing with veterans and throughout the country, that these psychopathic drugs are causing, the mental
Yeah, they
issues
end up
there
doing
that
more
commit
harm than
suicide.
Well, if you
Right.
listen to the litany of side effects, one of them
yeah.
is
Is suicide.
suicidal.
That's right.
Yep.
So now the military is giving more of their veterans, they give more psychiatrists now on psychopathic drugs. So what do you think's going to happen?
More.
More suicides.
Yeah.
So, but this supposedly with these studies going on that the medical marijuana is working
Right.
with
Oh, yeah.
PTSD.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
so,
it doesn't make you suicidal. It might make
Right.
you eat a lot of potato chips.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is a form of suicide in a way, because that's going to clog your
It
arteries.
just takes you
But-
a while.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I had a cousin just passed away. He had cancer. He fought it for a few years.
Yeah.
And when he went for chemo, he just couldn't eat.
Yeah.
But when he smoked a little bit of marijuana,
yeah.
he could eat.
Of course. Yeah.
And I looked at it, years ago when I voted to change my vote on medical marijuana. Who in the hell am I to tell somebody, no, you can't?
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And the way I changed, I was on a tour of Dana-Farber in London. They were just moving in, and I got to, off the record, talk to some people.
That's what I had to do. I ended up talking to some people off the records where you got a real, and it wasn't up in Concord, so you knew they weren't lobbyists.
Right, yeah.
And it was those conversations that changed my mind, because when you hear stuff up in Concord, it's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, because I first voted against medical marijuana
Yeah.
because, I had that military mindset,
Right.
and that was in my first term. But then when the override veto came, I voted to override the veto
Yeah.
because by that time now I was at a ribbon cutting ceremony and I started asking questions,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I said, wow, what, how in the world would I stop this here if these people are dying?
Exactly.
They're able to
Exactly.
eat, they're not losing weight by smoking marijuana.
Yeah.
Their stomach, they're not puking as much as,
It's a matter
you would.
of human compassion,
right.
really.
Yeah.
Well, for me, with glaucoma, marijuana is
Well, that
really
too, yeah.
effective
Right.
because if I do go blind, I don't care.
Right,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
You won't see what you're smoking.
I won't even see.
Yeah, you'll smell what you're smoking.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You don't see it. That's right. Uh-huh.
So the other thing people might not know about the Honorable Al Baldasaro is that he's been very active in the Committee of Redress.
Right.
And we heard a really, I shouldn't call it interesting because it seemed kind of dispassionate, but it really was to me. You want to tell him about the case we heard? Was that last
what was
week?
it? Yeah, that.
I forgot the gentleman's name.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about what it was on.
That was up with the one on.
Refresh my, because I've heard.
Okay, no, I gotta.
My brain is
I
blank.
just
yeah.
drained
It was,
brain
got
damage.
screwed over with the courts, lost his kids.
Yeah, he got his kids taken away.
Right.
Um.
His house lost.
Yeah, but it was. Oh, that was it. That was the
just so many
linchpin
incidents.
of this case, or the operative thing in this case was the fact that the court used the fact that he's black.
Oh, that's
And
right. Okay.
she's
All right.
half white
Now
and
I
half
know.
black.
Okay.
Which is, who cares?
Yeah.
Except that they used the fact that she wanted to take the child to
Lawrence.
Lawrence,
Right.
which has a lot larger
Large
black
minority
population,
community.
and the child would be more comfortable with other black children as opposed to be in New Hampshire where they'd get a better education.
Because where they were going to school, there was no black children.
Yeah.
And at the time, the child was in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And because of going through a divorce, the judge made a decision. Now, there was a Supreme Court
I
decision.
thought it was the
a
marital
while ago.
master that was pushing all
But
this
the judge,
crap.
the marital master, but the judges sign off on it.
Okay.
When I say a judge, some of the judges rubber stamp this stuff.
Sure. Sure.
So the marital master made this decision here, but there was a Supreme Court decision over the years on race. You know, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
It's unconstitutional.
Yeah.
But he challenged, I think he's got his case up at the Supreme Court.
Is it?
Or it's, he did appeal.
No, because the
No, wait,
Supreme
I'm
Court,
sorry, they
the
denied
state
them.
Supreme
The
Court
Supreme
would
Court denied
denied
them.
even
That's
hearing
right.
the case.
They denied
He's
hearing the
trying
case,
to
yes.
find a lawyer that will take it to the U.S.
Right,
Supreme Court.
Yes, that's right.
But that's really, really
But I
expensive.
mean, that's a shame. And this guy's black, his wife is white. You know what I mean?
Oh, I thought she was like half and half.
No, she was white, I guess, my understanding.
white, light skin.
Yeah, light
was the
skin, okay.
was the statement. But
Right, but the kid looked more, I guess, black than white, and the marital master made the decision that.
did that kid go to Florida with you or something? Is that why?
I don't know, possible. Well, my daughter, she got dark. My daughter
yeah?
just got a master's degree in Mount Ida in Newton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I told her,
her.
when you graduate, I'll take you on vacation. So it was just her and
there's
I.
all these pictures from down in Florida.
Yeah, it was just her and I. We went to South Beach, Miami, Fort Lauderdale Beach, Hollywood Beach. We did it up. But anyways, we listened to that case. I mean, I've been involved, like him, with this redress for many, many years.
Yeah.
Listening to cases in the court through the divorce, and listening to how children are used as political pawns, and looking how the court is making millions and millions of dollars off of child support.
Yeah.
By you paying the court, because then the federal government kicks in so much money. We have not been able to break this.
Yeah.
And I believe the only way to break this is if we do a constitutional amendment to Article 73A, because under Article 73A gives the courts the legal obligation, to make laws in the courts, rules that act as laws, and it's BS.
Yeah. Judicial activism.
There's no
Yeah,
judicial
yeah, wicked
oversight,
bad.
nothing.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's getting worse.
Right. And right now, the judicial system has a judicial oversight committee. So that's the hen. I mean, the wolves got in the hen house.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas years ago, up until they changed, I think it was before the Constitutional Convention here in New Hampshire, whereas the Judicial Oversight Committee was within the legislature. And if you look at Article 30 or 31 of the New Hampshire Constitution, I'm taking a guess, I may be wrong in the numbers,
Yeah.
it says the superiority in the state of New Hampshire is the Senate and the House would both have equal power. Not the executive, not the judicial.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You'll
saying?
hear the
Yeah.
You'll hear the liberals repeat incessantly that they're co-equal branches.
Right.
They have never been co-equal branches.
Okay, that's
the
interesting.
the legislature actually has the authority to completely disband the courts.
Okay. Wow.
We've done it
Right.
actually
Yeah.
many times over the last 200 years. Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, but it was getting ridiculous. To just get aggravated with a court and dismantle it.
Right.
So-
Right. Yeah. It sounds impractical in some
So-
ways.
it's like, for instance, the amendment Al's talking about. It was an amendment to the Constitution so that the court could make its own rules, i.e., when they're going to meet, rules of evidence, things like that, and not have to keep going back to the legislature just to do the simplest thing.
Right.
And somehow somebody snuck in the words, and will have the force and effect of law. Which means that the way people are interpreting it now is that the Supreme Court of New Hampshire, has the right to write laws.
Okay.
I gave it the wrong one. It was actually Part 2, Article 2, where it says legislative how constituted. The supreme legislative power within the state shall be vested in the Senate and the House of Representatives, each of which shall have a negative on the other. Now, just to show you something else what's going on here in the state, which is a bunch of BS. The Senate, or the new speaker and the last speaker, refused to have redress of grievance committees. Now, if you go in the New Hampshire Constitution...
Redress of
Redress of grievance.
Just a second. Redress of grievance is the idea that no matter what happens, if you've gone through the normal channels and you can't get help, and the state or the city or whatever has severely harmed you, then you have the right to approach the legislature itself, who can redress your grievances or fix the grievance or problem that you've had.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to do is, this is where we have problems here, because people's interpretation of the Constitution are totally off the wall, especially the Speaker.
Yeah.
And the last Speaker, the Democrats. Because under Article 31, New Hampshire Constitution, meaning of the legislature for what purposes? The legislature shall assemble for the redress of public grievances and for making such laws as the public good may require. Okay, then you go into Article 32, right of assembly, instruction, and petition. This is to the people. Okay, the people have a right in an orderly and peaceful manner to assembly and consult upon the common good, give instruction to their representatives, and to request of the legislative body by way of petition or remonstrance, redress of the wrongs done them. It's in our Constitution.
Right.
But yet we got people, oh no, that's not what they meant. Oh no, that was 1874.
That's changed.
You know?
That's
changed, right?
Yeah,
that's just a guidebook. You see what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, this is what we hear.
Yeah.
And the last time we all took the oath to, defend and.
Yeah, that's one of the things
the Constitution.
Yeah.
I think I've said that about 1,000 times on the show. Is as a legislator, the first thing you can do before you vote on anything is swear to uphold the Constitution.
Right.
You never swear to uphold the Republican platform.
Nope, not at all.
You do not swear to
That's right.
defend your constituents. You don't swear to represent anything other than the Constitution. That's the one thing you're obligated to do.
That's
the
right.
other stuff, well, you probably should do
And I
to a point.
Right.
And I my memory's a little, bad. So that's why I carry the U.S. and the New Hampshire Constitution.
Yeah.
Because when I talk the Constitution, I want to make sure that there's times I read it to them. So now, is my interpretation of the Constitution wrong versus somebody else? Because if you put 5 or 6 people in a room and they all read an article, sometimes you get different opinions.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
and I go my gut on what I believe in the Constitution here, what my interpretation is.
Yeah.
On how I vote, and just Gary the same way, and others, especially members of the House Republican Alliance. When we take positions on legislation, is it constitutional? Is it not? What article?
Yep.
Platform. Is it platform? Or what part of the platform goes for it or against?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's pretty interesting. It's just...
It is interesting. I can say that it's been easily one of the most awesome learning experiences I've ever had since I got elected.
Right.
I'm sure you feel
we have
the same
fun.
way. We do have fun.
Yeah, we have fun doing it. 'Cause you can't
It's
take it
when
personal.
when you're a freshman, it's kind of tough because you do kind of take stuff personal.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
but after a while,
your first year.
Yeah, you got to develop
Yeah.
a thick skin, it sounds like.
Yeah, sometimes I'm sitting there thinking, I'd like to, that what he just said is wrong. I'd like to go slap the hell out of him.
Right, yeah.
But I bite my tongue and I say,
did-
wait, I'm a state legislator now. I got to be nice.
Right.
I did that to I forget I guess if I could remember his name, I wouldn't say it on the air anyway.
You slap somebody?
No, but
Oh,
pretty
oh.
I
close.
came close too.
Pretty close. It was my freshman year. There was this guy who had a bill to allow. It was a bill to allow the psychological records or psychiatric records of a victim of sexual abuse to be used by the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now if you think that through, that's like saying a little girl is sexually abused. The little girl has emotional problems, and then they go to court, and now you're using the emotional problems that child had because of the perpetrator,
Right.
and is in the defense of the perpetrator.
Right. Yeah.
So I went into this hearing. I said, this is sick.
yeah.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
disgusting.
Right.
Yeah.
And I used some other words. I was livid
Yeah.
of how perverse this
Yeah.
was.
It's
Right.
victim blaming ultimately.
Yeah, it's so egregious. I went in there, I testified, and I walked outside, and this representative came up to me. How dare you say, it's because it is sick.
Right.
It's horrible, right? So anyway, right? He was pissed. He never spoke to me, I think, for the next year and a half or however long I was in there. But on the flip side of that, if you looked at his voting record, my voting record, other than that, maybe that one vote, you could not tell the difference.
Right.
Wow.
Now you know.
So I lost an ally.
Yeah.
Right.
By being too
outspoken.
too aggressive, I suppose.
I don't think it's too aggressive. Let me explain to you why. This is where I'm at on something like this here. Like some what you said, and there's, you know how many times they've asked me to resign? I've been attacked and because of things I say.
Have I ever asked you to resign?
No, you haven't. The Democrat. If you were to do a Google search of my name, you'll see the Democrats attack me all the time.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, just like they did with Warren Groen.
Yes.
Now, I was the one that came out and I posted the Constitution Amendment. Now, let me read something to you here. Constitution article. Article 30, freedom of speech. Now, this is put in here for legislators. Freedom of deliberation, speech, and debate in either house of the legislature is so essential to the rights of the people that it cannot be the foundation of any action, complaint, or prosecution in any other court or place whatsoever. Black and white. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when they come after you because we say something,
it's actually black and yellow.
right? I highlighted it because that's very
Gary's a stickler for
that's
details.
very important to me because, like a few years ago, I was leading the charge on a marriage bill, on a family values bill. I was asked a question, and I said the state of New Hampshire is selling children for title to homosexual, single family, not married. Okay, for $10,000 of Title IV federal money. Now, was I wrong? No, I'm not, because they didn't like the word selling.
Okay.
I gained attention a week or 2 weeks later, and all I wanted to do, I used the word, was to bring them to that.
Sure.
You can be boyfriend, girlfriend, and adopt a child. You can be a single homosexual, a single whatever, pervert. If they don't have anything on you, and adopt children. Well, you're taking children from a broken home and you're bringing them into another type of home with no real family values, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So they attacked me. 2 weeks later, they picked up on it and went all around the country.
Yeah.
I stood right by here. When they called me, the news reporters called me, I said, you tell the Democrat chair, which was Ray Buckley, still the chair, to kiss my butt.
Yeah.
It dropped, it ended. Okay? Matter of fact, every time they attack me now, I put up the Ray Buckley YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's horrible.
And if they want to see what the Ray Buckley YouTube is, just Google
that
Ray,
one.
Just Google Ray Buckley
don't
YouTube.
Do it on a full stomach. Hey,
right.
we gotta go. Al, thank you very much. You're awesome.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Al. It was
man,
good to
I
see you.
enjoyed it. Went by fast.
It always does. Bye, everybody.